Hi everybody, this is your pal Kevin. Welcome back to the Country Music Time Machine, and welcome back to the place where we have so much fun and talk about those crazy country slang words. This is Crazy Country Slang 5.
Oh, it's a country music time machine, taking us back to where the grass...
Dadgummit, I just love doing these crazy country slang episodes, and you know, that's our first word here on Crazy Country Slang 5. Dadgummit. This word, a lot of variations of this word, but this word was supposedly first spoken by Walter Brennan. That's old Grandpa Amos from the great TV show The Real McCoys. Remember that show?
They came to stay in sunny California. Old Grandpappy Amos and the girls and the boys of the family known as the Real McCoys.
Dadgummit is an often softened, clean version of the other phrase where we put the good Lord's name in vain, and no, we will not use the good Lord's name in vain on this show. You would see the word dadgummit when something goes a little wrong, like I would probably say dadgummit when Beyonce wins another country award. And I reckon this is a lot milder than saying the Lord's name in vain when Beyonce wins a country award. If you sort of just swap the first two letters in the two words, you could almost sort of get the bad word, sort of. Dadgummit. I'm just tired of talking about dadgummit right now. Here is a phrase that is often spoken in Nashville, especially if you're around Morgan Wallen. And if you're around Morgan Wallen, watch out. The slang is drunker than Cooter Brown. Drunker than Cooter Brown is a country slang meaning extremely intoxicated. It stems from a Civil War legend about a man actually named Cooter Brown. Cooter Brown lived on the Mason-Dixon line. To avoid being drafted by either the Union or the Confederacy, he stayed constantly drunk, rendering him unfit for service in the North or the South, and earning him a place in country lore as a benchmark for severe drunkenness. Now, my question is this: shall we now replace it with drunker than Morgan Wallen? In a sentence, you would say, Morgan Wallen was drunker than Cooter Brown when he threw that chair from the roof of Chief's Bar on Broadway in Nashville. Next up on the Country Music Time Machine, as we run down some of the craziest country slang you ever heard of, is one that you have heard quite often, I'm sure. Well, if you're from the country, that is. This ain't my first rodeo. Oh yes, many country songs have that phrase in it, but the slang, this ain't my first rodeo, got big back in 1981 from a movie called Mommy Dearest. I don't think I've ever seen that movie, though some people think it actually came earlier than that. The exact origin is uncertain. The film's popularization of This Ain't My First Rodeo is the key event leading to its common use today. In a scene from the movie, Faye Dunaway's character uses this line.
Don't f with me, fellas! This ain't my first time at the rodeo.
Well, in the movie, she said, this ain't my first time at the rodeo, but apparently this is the cause of the phrase we use all the time today. So the next time you hear someone say, this ain't my first rodeo, you can think possibly Faye Dunaway and the movie Mommy Dearest. I don't like that clip because anyone who knows me, I hate the F word. Yes, I guess I'm a prude. I've seldom used that word in my entire life, and when I hear other people say it, and they say it constantly in the movies or in some of the new country songs, I get ornery. And that's a perfect segue into our next crazy country slang, ornery. And if you were to pronounce it the way some folks in the country pronounce it, you would probably say ornery. According to the smart people on the internet, are there really any smart people on the internet? I don't know. Ornery was first used way back in 1816, and according to those smart people on the internet, ornery means to be disagreeable, stubborn, and troublesome to deal with. Cantankerous. In a sentence, I would say I really get ornery when I hear country bands that sound like the Backstreet Boys on country radio.
Backstreet's back, all right.
And so many of them nowadays sound like the Backstreet Boys. Next up on Crazy Country Slang 5 is a country slang that goes like this: egg on. You're thinking, Kevin, what are you talking about? Now, this country slang has nothing to do with the eggs that my chickens, my hens, who I have called the Dixie Chicks, they pop out eggs, but it has nothing to do with that. I'm talking about my chickens named the Dixie Chicks, not the band formerly known as the Dixie Chicks. And this is really an old slang, and this slang did not originate in the United States, as it was first used way back in the mid-1500s, making it one of the oldest country slangs I've ever talked about, here on this program anyway. The origin of egg on or egging on comes from the Old Norse word eggja, meaning to incite or to goad, and is related to the word edge, not the noun egg. The verb egg in this way has been used with this specific idiom to egg someone on. In a sentence, you could say Morgan Wallen's drunk friends kept egging him on to throw that chair off the roof of the Chiefs Bar on Broadway in Nashville. We continue Crazy Country Slang 5 here on the Country Music Time Machine. And before we do, I want to remind you that if you want to support this great channel, this great page, you can do so by liking this video, sharing it, telling all your friends about it, and most importantly, please subscribe or follow us. It can help us pay the bills around here on this channel that is dedicated to the history of country music and, of course, country life. And without further ado, here is the final slang we'll run down on Crazy Country Slang 5. And that word is darn tootin'. I must warn you, the next clip is shocking and you may want to run to your safe space if old movies make you mad and upset. Now let's play that video clip featuring darn tootin'.
Daddy, you spanked Mama.
You're darn tootin' I did.
That means you love her.
That's what I've been trying to tell her.
Now that is some crazy. That was from a movie called Frontier Gal from 1945. I guess back in those days it was okay to spank your wife on screen. And is it me, or did every male character in those days always use a radio voice? My dear, can you make me a great dinner tonight? And then we'll go to the movies. Okay, I'm sorry for the rambling. Let's just get back into the crazy slang. Darn tootin'. The origin of darn tootin' is from the early 20th century. It's an American slang likely evolving from the phrase rootin' tootin', which describes something lively or noisy like a trumpet fanfare. Darn, as you probably know, is a softened form of the word damn. The phrase became popular in the American West, mainly in the cowboy culture. When you're saying darn tootin', you're saying that something is absolutely correct or right. So in a sentence, you would say something like this: you are darn tootin' I'm excited about maybe an actual country singer winning a country award this year. I'd be darn tootin' excited. Well, that's all for Crazy Country Slang 5 right here on the Country Music Time Machine. You got some crazy country slang you use that I haven't mentioned yet? Pop it down in those comments below, as I'd love to hear from you. This is your old pal Kevin, and until next time, let's keep it country right here on the Country Music Time Machine.
In our country music time machine.